Yeah, I was a sight to see. It felt normal because it's the only life I knew. But in hindsight and looking back and seeing even having children, I'm like, damn, I was doing a lot at a young age.
What was like the first bit of actual success that you had?
The first record deal I got, that was a success within itself at that age. So signing the Future Sound and then signing Original Flavor, the first, you know, everything was a victory because it was all new. Like everything was like shit that I had been seeing on TV or hearing about. So every time even like now, me being on BET is probably not a big deal to anyone else that's in this business, but for me, for what I've been trying to do, it's a victory because it's the first time I've done it in that way, completely on my own. First times for things are like the best times, and I didn't know what was wrong or what was right. I just knew what I was doing was working.
You work with Original Flavor, and how long does that last for?
I mean, Ski, we got dropped. Atlantic dropped them after their second album, and Ski ended up producing the majority of Reasonable Doubt. And for what I hear, he's not getting his royalties either.
Oh.
And then after that, when I went from Rockefeller to opening up art galleries, and I made so many albums with Ski, but with live instruments, with Jay Electronica, Mos Def, Wiz Khalifa. I was able to work with any artist and every artist. I've worked with every single artist I've ever wanted to work with, but I had to do that independently. And I wanted to do it from a cool environment.
At what point do you, Jay, and Biggs decide to form Rockefeller?
We had took this trip to St. Thomas, and we had a real conversation. And I don't know exactly the day or time, but it was just after like just doing so much shopping of Jay and people telling me, you gotta remember, like, the elite of the music business, every single executive in the business, 100% of them, from Kevin Liles to Russell Simmons to Sylvia Rhone to Ruben Rodriguez, all of them said that Jay was trash. All of them. 100% of them said. And that's why it's funny to me to see how they act these days. But the thing is, they wasn't trying to let us in the door. Because they must have known how good he was. They just didn't want us in control. But that's why I don't trust these people. And we just decided, like, yo, these guys are lames. Like, how could a nerd sit behind a desk and tell us what's good or what's not good? And we just said, fuck it, let's do it ourselves. And, Biggs had some bread. So that's how he came to the table. Pause.
Who thought of the name?
Tone Hooker from Original Flavor. So I was looking for a name. So we had I would have meetings for shit like this. So I had a meeting like, we need a crew. We got to have a crew. What's our name? And he's like, Rockefeller. And I was like, two names. Rockefeller, you fuck with us, or Rockefeller represents money. I said, I like it. Let's go.
Were you around when Jay battled DMX?
Of course, I set the battle up. Come on, man. That was my battle. He wasn't even supposed to be battling. That was between me and my man Steve Mack from the Best Out. Me and Steve went to school together, and I guess, and then we ended up being in the same crew. And he's loud and funny. He's making a doc about it, and we used to argue because they used to think Jay was so corny. They thought he dressed funny. They just thought he was a cornball. They used to give me hell about Jay. Every single day I had to argue. I had to have Jay battle Big L on 139th Street, but these guys were talking so much. No, what happened was we were at a barbecue on 145th Street, and Steve Mack had his crew, and, Original Flavor were there, and they're not the toughest rappers and shit, but, Harlem Nights, they were on some street shit. And, they wanted to battle. I'm like, I'm not battling on in Harlem. They're not from Harlem. We have to battle on some mutual ground. And, Steve thought I was scared or whatever, but then I found a spot. Tone Hooker found his man. He's in a wheelchair. He's still outside too. He had a pool hall, And I called them like, yo, we gonna meet up. I found the spot. We gonna meet up in the Bronx. So first it was a game at the Gaucho Gym. We went to the game at the Gaucho Gym. Then we all headed over there, snapping and all that. And they brought DMX. I didn't know he was bringing DMX, but Jay was with us. So the battle really wasn't supposed to be between Jay and DMX. They just was both there. And you know, DNY was there, and Big L was taping it. The battle, I had him taping it. I gave him a camera and all that to tape it. And I mess with him to this day, was like, oh, our shit's not copywritten, so he wouldn't let me tape them. So I taped my side of it. And, you know, motherfuckers pulled out guns back and forth on tables and shit. And then finally they got on the table and they went at it. And it was a great battle. Legendary.
Damn. Man, that would have been crazy.
I had on the yellow Pelly. I had the base Yankee bait. I remember what I had on. Quicker hairline I had hair at that time. You know? It's in the beginning of Backstage. The crazy thing is Big L shot that footage. That's what's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
All Jay's half of the battle you guys do have.
I gotta find that shit, yeah.
That's crazy. And Big L, man, you know, he was a part of a lot of stuff back then. Like, I know him and Fat Joe were really tight, and, you know, they had their thing going on, and, you know, how'd you meet Big L and, you know, work with him?
He was from 139th Street, and, you know, I used to be on 41st and 142nd. So we kind of knew each other before the rap, and we all started to get into the rap. It just, you know, I was trying to help, and then it was like Cam and Bloodshed and him and Mace, and it was the group was supposed to, damn, I just forgot the name of what that group was supposed to be. Children of the Corn. And, you know, they were younger than me. Not Big L so much, but like Cam and them. But it was just more of a Harlem thing. It was a block thing. We knew each other from the block.
A lot of talent comes out of Harlem.
Harlem is the originator of damn near everything. Everybody copies Harlem in New York. Everybody copies New York in the rest of the country. And everybody copies the country, you know. But it all starts with Harlem. You know what I mean? It's for black culture. I would say fashion, a lot of that shit being like London and shit.
You mentioned the struggle of not being able to get a deal, you know, and you guys decided to make your own record deal, or your own record label. You know, at that point in time, there wasn't a lot of people who have done it. How hard was it to get everything off the ground at the beginning, or was it easy? Did it just come natural? What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.